Hello viewers, Crispy Prata here. Today's video is quite different from the usual gameplay recordings as I want to make a tier list on Inscryption Casey's mod starter deck tier list for Skullstorm. So anyone who wanna beat Skullstorm will have a general idea on how effective each starter deck would be. Alright, generally to beat Skullstorm you want to have your win condition to have 6 or more power with double strike, so you can consistently beat the Grizzly modifier without relying on items too much. Well, with that, let's get into all the starter decks in the order you would normally unlock. Alright, start off vanilla. Well, it's not too bad as you get a 3 base power unit, which is the wolf. The stoat, depending on which one you want to sacrifice, either the stoat or the bullfrog will be the dead weight. Ideally, you want to get rid of, I don't know, for me I just get rid of the bullfrog and then give stoat worthy sacrifice, so you could immediately play your wolf on turn 2. Or you know, just get a grizzly, but then again, it's kind of inconsistent. So with that, I'd say A, but maybe low A. But then again, Wolf doesn't have that much health to survive the onslaught if you take too long to beat a level and more difficult modifier got triggered. So I don't know, high A or high B or low A, I don't know, I change it later maybe. Alright, worthy sacrifice, as I would like to call it, the goated deck. Well, two simple reason, you get easily the best 1 cost card, which is the black goat. Worthy sacrifice pretty much allowing you to play a 3 cost card on turn 1, and a high base stat card, which is the moose bug, 3 attack 7 health. So that pretty much allows you to clear stages fast enough without triggering the more difficult modifier, which makes decks that are much more frail much more harder to clear. So, and not only that, you just give your black goat many lives and you pretty much win the game. Sure, for the first grizzly encounter you probably need a scissors or skinning knife, but once you got that over with, you pretty much win the game. Alright, ends. The funny thing is, I actually won with this deck, but I ended up using the worthy sacrifice strategy. Here's the main issue: you can't directly buff the ends attack since their attack is a sigil instead of a base stat. Well, honestly, it's a pretty fun deck to play, but it takes a while to stack up, which usually means that more difficult modifier will trigger and pretty much end your run. But what sigils to give them? Definitely the bunny spawner one. Many lives? Nah, that's too expensive. I'd say maybe B, mid B, I'd say. Oh yeah, crap, I forgot to mention, as for the vanilla and worthy sacrifice deck, yeah, give your win conditions double strike. That's an auto include for wolf and moose bug respectively. As for the ends deck, yeah, it's a little hard and you might end up just relying on, you know, grizzlies or other high base attack cards. Fun deck to play, but not the most practical. Alright, Trifurcated Mantis God deck. As much as, you know, how overrated it is, it's not the most reliable way, as Mantis God has 1 base health and it pretty much gets killed by anything, since the annoying sigil makes anything, even obstacles, just attack your troops. Sure, here's the main issue with Mantis God. When during the grizzly modifier, his double strike is much better since you strike a lane twice, whereas Trifurcated just goes all over the place. And one thing, yeah, sharp quills. More specifically, adders with Sharpquill Totem. Yeah, not the best matchup for Mantis God. And honestly, after playing quite a lot of Skullstorm runs, yeah, that's gonna appear from time to time. But overall, the main strategy is you wanna use the scissors or skinning knife on an adjacent lane, so the combined strength of Mantis God and the other creature you have on the adjacent lane would at least do 5 or more, so you could win on the Grizzly phase 2 turn 1. Well, with all that said and done, would it be better? Here's the thing. Trifurcated, I mean, you could give Trifurcated on a higher base stat, so yeah, you know what? Yeah. Honestly, both of them are kind of mid-A. Alright, Waterborne. Oof, I got a lot to say for this one. The thing about Waterborne, it pretty much means that anything opposing your Waterborne starters will directly attack your scale, which is really bad. So that pretty much means that stalemates are way more often, and that pretty much means more difficult is gonna trigger almost every time. And not only that, Kingfishers have garbage base stats, and the only redeeming factor is the Kraken, but it's really unreliable. I mean, sure, there is the Bell Ringer and the Mirror, and the Mirror one has a pretty cool interaction. Since annoying buffs the enemy, you also get buff. That's interesting. But however, it's pretty inconsistent, and Kingfishers end up being a dead weight. So I'd say C, definitely. Maybe even low C, but who knows. Alright, for Scavenger, the thing is, bone cards tend to suck, specifically the one without sigils. So Possums, Coyote, Turkey Vulture. Since bones are usually you won't play bone cards on turn 1 since you do not have enough bones to play. But you do get a strong 2 cost starter, which is the Direwolf Pup. Well, the best sigil to give Wolf Pup is definitely Corpse Eater, since triggering Corpse Eater will make it immediately grow into a Direwolf on your next turn. So the best way to beat with this deck would definitely be buffing your Direwolf Pup's attack with Corpse Eater, but you know, that's not the Corpse Eater, there's only like one creature that has Corpse Eater, which is Corpse Maggot, so yeah, that might take a lot of reruns. High C or low B, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll just put it here first. Alright, zero cost. Here's the thing, it's very similar to Waterborne, as both have really low base stat. But unlike Waterborne, you could play all of it on turn 1. And yeah, you could buff it, but honestly, the bunny is more of a dead weight since you'll just clog your deck and just delay your win conditions that you would take from the Pelt Dealer. Well, I mean, none of the cards here are win conditions due to their poor base attack. I mean, you could buff it, but it takes a lot of investment. I mean, here's the main issue with this too. Yeah, you're gonna get walked really easily. I mean, it's possible to pull it off, but it's not worth it, man. Definitely slightly better than Waterborne. Cause for Waterborne, all of them cost 1 blood, and they have easily one of the worst sigils, as they will just make you instantly lose on the Grizzlies unless you win turn 1, which is unlikely due to their poor base attack. Alright, last one. I mean, what more could I say? I mean, it's more of a fun deck, but yeah, you're gonna die in the first encounter. Yeah, 0 attack, 1 health. Yeah, that's not gonna bring you anywhere. Well, what I will name these tiers? Simple. I name this one requires minimal setup. Upgrading. For A tier, it will be requires some setup. And for B tier, requires a lot of setup or upgrading. C tier requires extreme setup or upgrading, or just very specific setups and D tier is just raw trash. Let's see what additional notes to give. Yeah, generally as for items, you wanna go for skinning knife ASAP, since that's the most consistent way to win the first grizzly encounter. The first grizzly encounter is the most toughest one since you have the least amount of upgrades, whereas the other two you get more upgrades. So generally you want to rely on items such as scissors or skinning knife. So always keep a track on how many teeth you have. The pliers you start with is a really good tool to get an additional teeth, so you can afford the skinning knife before the first boss encounter. Let me know what you guys think about in the comment section. More gameplay content soon. Alright, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out the other variety content. Alright, see you in the next video. Peace.